Alright, back again, Luke here. And as you guys can see in front of you, this is my 6-slot MVS motherboard, or another one of my 6 slots. This one actually came out of this cab here, the one that you guys probably just saw the video on, the Super Neo 29. I was messing around with the monitor here. Well, if you guys remember from a long time ago, a different video, I had actually mentioned how this 6-slot here was only working with 5 slots, and how eventually I wanted to come around here and try and mess around with the 3rd slot and find out why the 3rd slot was not working. I also, you know, after working on this monitor, I wanted to go over here and clip the battery out because I had realized that that was still left in there, so I want to take that out. But nonetheless, when I got this board out, I started inspecting it. I started testing stuff with my multimeter just to make sure that I was getting continuity around different parts on the board here. And one thing that I did notice after kind of taking a look around the board is right down here. It's really kind of hard to see, but if you guys take a look at these traces in here, you'll notice that they're a little bit, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not, just because of the angle. Right there, you guys can see how it looks like the trace is eaten away. There are 2 traces or 3 traces that are eaten in half there. And on top of that, up underneath there, there's some oxidization. So what I'm going to have to do is, first off, I'm going to have to remove half of this slot, unfortunately. I'm going to have to remove this row here just to get up underneath there and make sure that that pin is going to be connecting, or those data lines are going to be connecting to the pins where they're supposed to be, and double check that. It's kind of a pain. It's going to be about 100 pins that I'm going to have to desolder on this. These are actually two separate strips, so that's kind of nice. I don't have to desolder everything, but I'm going to have to desolder this row and remove the top part there. Then take a look underneath there. I'll show you guys. It'll be a little bit easier to see once I get that done, but that's where we're at right now. So I'm gonna go and get the old desoldering tool, and we're gonna go to work on this and try and get that up. So be back in a bit. Alright, so as you guys can see here, we've got this whole row lifted up, and it came out very nicely. I'm very pleased with that. Didn't lift out any of the traces. It came out very nice and clean. Just taking my time with each single one of the points on here, and then going over it very slowly and making sure that each one of the holes is clean. You can see down here, this is the part that I was trying to explain earlier. These are the broken traces. This isn't from like, you know, applying pressure or anything like that. This is from oxidization. You can see this this around this area is oxidized, and a couple of these look like they're burned. So luckily able to find the problem. This should be the main problem here. If this isn't, then it's obviously underneath the other one as well, but this is definitely a good start. As you can see down there, these are the traces that we're going to have to be repairing. So what I'm going to do is try and sand off some of the solder mask here, and then get a closer look at how the traces are, and then maybe either jump them from the bottom with wires. Probably be the best, considering these are going to have to go back. There's not really a lot of space on this in order to get it to sit flat again, so what I'm going to have to do is probably just run some wires on the bottom. But we'll get to that, try and sand this down a little bit and see where these traces go. Alright, so as you can see here is the solder mask removed, and it looks like there are 3 pins that we're going to be dealing with here. This first pin here, which is eaten away, it's not connected. The second one, which runs back here to this pin, and the third one, which is running along here, this one goes underneath the slot, and it goes kind of over this direction. So what we're going to have to do is find out where that one goes, patch that one on from the bottom definitely, and then try and patch these 2 traces here, which shouldn't be too bad, and then put everything back together and see how it goes. But we'll get on that and give it a shot. Alright, so I just wound up putting the slot back in here and putting new solder on there. I have 3 jumper wires. It's kind of hard to see, but there's 2 that are underneath here. They're really fine ones. They're really small because they're really close together here, so it's really easy to get those in there. And then I had to track down one of them, which was actually starting over here and then ending over here. Hopefully that'll be okay with that. But those 3 traces, after going over them and checking them a few times, you know, just to make sure continuity was alright, and it was. So those are ready to go. So we've got slot 3 all put back in there. Just got a little bit of marker on there right now just to cover up the trace, the bare trace. But that's ready to go. And I went and removed this battery here, and it's a good thing that I did, because this thing is a little sneaky monster. As you guys can see there, it's starting to, well, it was starting to eat away at the board. So it looks like I got to this thing right in time, and you know, although it does look a little bit corroded there, it's not that bad at all. I actually, compared to what it could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't showing any signs from the top, so really hard to see that. So we're gonna have to neutralize that acid there, and you know, get a little bit of vinegar on there and get that done, and then put this thing back together. And we're gonna just test out slot number 3. As you know, we know that the rest of the slots work here, but just want to see if that has changed anything. Hopefully it'd be nice if it did, and slot 3 works again. I don't know. If not, we're gonna have to remove this side here, take a look at the bottom of that as well. But nonetheless, we'll get on that and give it a go. And oh, is that dirt? Can't tell. Thought I saw another broken trace. Maybe it's just dirt. That would be nice if it was just dirt. Yeah, it's just looking like it's dirt, hopefully. But nonetheless, let's get this stuff neutralized here, and then we'll put this piece back together and give it a shot. Be back in a bit. Alright, so we've got just one cart in there, and I just got the board just setting in there. It's in slot 3, so let's hit the switch and see if it does anything. Kind of hoping for the best here. Well, looks like it wanted to start up there for a second, but just didn't. Ah, that's kind of a bummer. I don't know, maybe the cart's not seated correctly. I'm not sure. We'll try and do this again, but yeah. we'll be back in a sec. Alright, so how's that? Went back and reseated the cart, and then gave it another switch here, and as you can see, that is in slot number 3, and we've got slot number 3 working again. So fantastic. What I'm going to do is put this thing back together and double check to make sure that all the other slots are working, but really happy to have slot 3 back again. It's a fully working 6 slot. So yeah, just a bit of trace work there, and really hidden underneath those, you know, underneath the connectors there. So, but nonetheless, was able to get that patched up, and really happy that this thing's finally working. So I'll grab the other games and pop those in there, and we'll go through it one more time just to double check, make sure everything's working all right. But yeah, I'll be back in a second. Alright, so now we've got all 6 in there. We've got Blazing Star, Big Tournament Golf, Last Resort, Miracle Adventure, Rage of the Dragons, and Flip Shot in there. And we'll flip the old switch and see how it goes. It's been probably about, geez, at least 2.5 years or so, maybe since that 3rd slot had stopped working. So let's turn this on here and give it a look-see here. Alright, we'll put in a coin, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All 6 of them working well. So there we have it. Yeah, a working 6 slot again. So there may be some people are asking, you know, what am I going to do with that battery since I removed it? Did I put a coin slot in there, a little coin holder, battery cell holder? And the answer is no, I didn't. I just have the, the wires just cut there. I don't have really any major reason to have a battery hooked up there. I'm not really somebody who's interested in the high score or anything like that. I just play the games here for fun, so yeah, it doesn't really need to have the battery in there. And for those of you out there who are thinking about maybe removing the battery, yeah, you don't have to have it in there in order for the game system to work. It's just in there to allow you to save the high score and the date and settings and things like that. So, but yeah, that's what's going on there, and it's all working. So, totally happy about that. But just thought I'd share this with you guys here. A little bit more work on the old Super Neo 29. But that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon. So, thanks for watching.
Please select the type of your game. 28, Takano. Please select your challenging course.